Okay, so going back to our board, we're going to write these down so we can remember them. Halyard does what? When you tighten it, it...
Flat.
Cunningham.
Flat.
When you tighten it. Outhaul.
Flat.
Boom bang.
Flat.
Yeah, that's flat.
Main sheet.
Flat.
Full.
Mass bend. And mass rake.
Flat.
And when you loosen them, it'll be the opposite for all of them.
Polar.
For our jib sail, we can do some of these same things. Our jib doesn't have a Cunningham, outhaul, or boom bang, and it doesn't have mass bend or mass rake. So you can forget all of those ones. But with our jib, we can do our halyard. Oh, that's not a very straight line. So our halyard. If our halyard flattens our mainsail, what do you think it'll do to our jib?
Polar.
Flatter.
It should probably do the same thing. Okay. Our jib sheets. So our jib sheets, when you pull them in, what should it do?
Fuller.
Flat.
You're pulling it in. Yeah, you're tightening it. Should go flat. And on our jib, some boats, not our boat, but some boats you can move your fair lead. So your fair lead can be, this is your jib here, and your jib goes this way. You can move this fair lead, you can move it forward, or you can move it back. If you move your fair lead forward, what happens?
Fuller.
Yeah, it should go fuller. Why does it go fuller?
What's that?
I said, why does it go fuller? Because as you move it forwards, it allows more bag in your sail. Okay? And when you pull your fair lead back, what should it do?
Flattens it.
It goes flatter because you're taking all that bag, you're tightening the foot of your jib, and it's going to make that sail a lot flatter. Okay? So these are different ways to make your sail fuller and flatter. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our slot. So our slot is the space between our mainsail and jib. So in here, this space right here is our slot. We always want our sails to be the same shape. So if our jib's pulled in all the way, we want our mainsail pulled in all the way. If we want our jib out all the way, we want our mainsail out all the way. It's going to be the same. You want to keep them the same shape, kind of like this. If our sail, our jib's pulled in too tight to where our mainsail is, our slot is choked. Okay? And this will create backwinding of your mainsail. So I'll get over here. Okay, why will your when your jib's pulled in too tight, why will your mainsail backwind? If you look at your wind's coming on this side and on this side of your sail.
Comes off the jib.
The wind comes off your jib
Onto the mainsail.
onto the mainsail. Yeah.
Damn.
Okay, so this force of your air will push your mainsail in here. And it'll create your mainsail to look something like this. And it'll keep pushing it in. It'll make your sail left on the inside. Okay? So if our sail, or if, yeah, our jib's out further than our mainsail, this slot right here, your slot is too open. So it's not closed, it's not choked, it's too open. There's too much space between here. Okay? So this will decrease our pointing ability? Why do you think this will decrease our pointing ability?
There's too much air going through?
Yeah, pretty much. So, because when you're trying to go upwind, you're trying to head as close to the wind as you can. When you're going up there, your jib's going to start luffing. Your mainsail will be okay, but your jib won't catch any wind. Okay? And your sail, you won't be able to point quite as close to the wind as you would be able to if your sail and your slot were the same shape and it was the right spot. Okay, so we got this part, our whole slot. We're just going to go back and review when you want these to be fuller or flatter. Okay, so if you remember all those, I'm going to cover them. In light air, okay, what do we want our sails to be? Fuller or flatter?
Flatter.
Yeah. So in light air, I can just erase these. We don't really need these anymore. In light air, our sails need to be flatter, so when the wind comes at them, your boat will still actually move forwards. Okay? If your sails are too full in light winds, it won't push you anywhere. The wind will just hit it, and it'll just kind of stay there, and it won't actually propel your boat forwards. In about medium air, where do you want your sails?
Flatter. Or fuller. Flatter.
You want them kind of in the middle.
Oh, in the middle, yeah. That's what I said, bro.
Okay. So, depending on if your medium air is in choppy water or not, okay, your sails are kind of in the middle. You don't want them too flat, but you don't want them too full either. What about heavy air? Do you want that fuller or flatter?
Fuller?
Yeah. And do you know why?
Shouldn't you know?
Okay, so in heavy air, we want them fuller. And do you know why? Do you guys know why you want them to be fuller?
No.
No. Depowers it.
Yeah, it depowers it. That's right. So depowered. Okay. By having your sail fuller, what happens is your wind doesn't hit it right away and keep your boat going. It hits it, and it'll slow it down a little bit. Okay, so you can. This is an example of when you let your main sheet out, you let your sail out. You're depowering your boat, so it's not going as fast. This makes it easier to control a little bit in extremely heavy winds. What about choppy water?
Fuller?
Yeah. I'm gonna write it over here. So you want fuller sails in choppy water, because if you have them too flat, it won't catch any wind. The wind will just bounce. Because when you're in choppy water, your boat does this. Up and down, you don't go anywhere. If your sails are too tight and wind hits it. Okay? So, if you can't figure these out, you can always adjust different things and see what is best for your boat in that kind of condition. Okay? So you just play around. You can try tightening things, loosening things, until you figure it out. This is kind of something you need to experiment with, and you need to get a feel for yourself. I can give you some guidelines, but I can't tell you exactly what to do at every time when you're sailing. So it's something you need to learn, you guys need to experience, and you'll be able to learn it after a little while by adjusting different things. Okay? Anybody have any questions? No questions?
No questions, no.
All right, awesome.
Good.
Let's